big market D-line. You, friends, know him by these amazing words. He is the savant, the sports and branding genius.
Yeah.
And this is your season, D-line.
Couldn't agree with you anymore on all of it. Every word you've said has been more true than the last.
Better than the bullying put-downs you get on your intros on the Nuggets show?
Yes.
Really? I thought that's where you were at peace, though.
I would say I'm at homeostasis, but I live in misery. So to have some form of a kind word thrown my way, I feel like an outside dog that's been let inside on Thanksgiving.
It goes a long way. Isn't it amazing? And yes, as D-Line points out, life typically miserable.
Yeah.
Us typically in a state of misery.
Yeah. A couple degens.
And yet, D-Line, and yet we are in this magical time where it feels like maybe Lady Misery will leave us alone for just a couple goddamn months. And just the mere thought brings a tear to my eye.
Seems like asking for a lot. I'll take a few good minutes if I'm being real.
It does. We, of course, are talking about your Denver Nuggets. And how are we feeling today? How are we feeling?
Well, Dre, it's hard to feel anything but on a golden cloud at this moment. We have been given...
Incredible.
Listen, for those not paying attention, those who have just allowed the Nuggets to happen without, taking notice, you've probably heard a lot of hemming and hawing, a lot of consternation, I would say, over the last month or so, because the Nuggets kept turning in uninspiring effort after uninspiring effort after uninspiring effort. They would sit starters. They would come out with questionable work ethic and effort. The question
Frankly,
was raised.
I wasn't inspired.
The question was raised by not one person in town, by many people in town.
Ugh.
Is this team, did they peak too early? Or are we talking about a team that possesses a switch? A playoff switch. And we're one playoff game in, but the answer seems definitively and resoundingly to be the latter.
Yep. Big switch team.
Big switch team. The Denver Nuggets had an 8.5 game cushion when they beat Ja Morant and essentially destroyed that Memphis team. Ja Morant famously then had a very public meltdown immediately following that game. It put the Nuggets in the absolute driver's seat, and they stopped. The Nuggets then went into full cruise control and still ended up winning the division and ended up first in the conference. So frustrating, yes, but human nature is what human nature is. But we're back, baby.
That's what you get with D-Line. It's not just sports. It's not just betting. There's a lot of philosophy in it.
Oh, bro.
Philosophy, the inner struggles of humanity. It's really, you're like an ancient Greek.
I'm more ancient than Greek, but yes. Let's go.
Oh, God,
Let's go.
that's really
Let's
good.
go.
That's really good. That wasn't meant. We didn't plan that ahead. And then, boy, what else to say about the NBA playoffs? Usually the NBA is such a pain in the ass come playoff time because just everyone you expect to win wins.
Everyone you expect to
Not
win wins.
so much, huh?
So what we're dealing with this year in the Western Conference specifically
Win
is that
attacks.
there was a lot of movement in the Western Conference at the trade deadline. At the last part of the season, we have Andrew Wiggins coming back for the current champion Golden State Warriors. We have a newly revamped Los Angeles Lakers squad, both of which are at the bottom of the bracket, which normally powerful teams are at the top. So, these first round matchups in the Western Conference at least are like pretty intriguing, with the exception of the Denver Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I know. And everyone nationally, I was hearing the Eastern playoffs being talked up. The East is so boring.
It's
so
very
chalky. The West is amazing, though.
Yeah.
Now Draymond's suspension makes that spicy. Suns win against the Clippers, but they have to play all the big dogs over 40 minutes.
And they got to play now on the road to the questionable confines of Crypto.com arena.
Yikes.
Big crypto.
over under 1.5 years before that name gets changed again.
Well under.
Yeah, 1.5 is too high.
Yeah, too high.
Bad.
It'll certain point.
What happened? The Staples isn't around anymore.
I don't know that people
one
in
of
that
the
no one
few
goes to an
brands.
office anymore. That
I know.
office supplies have maybe peaked in their prime. Maybe is over.
I was looking for a whiteboard for the office, and someone was like, "Go to Office Depot," and I was like, "Holy shit, Office Depot! I forgot all about it."
For me, the greatest realization that the outside world still existed, I was going on a trip and I was like, God, I need new shoes, but I didn't order them in time. And then I was like, oh, right, stores. You can get them the same day. You can get them you could have them in your hand moments after you decide you want them.
Walk in, ask someone to try them on, do so,
Take them.
pay them, and bring them to your home. They'll let you walk out the store with them on your feet.
It's like nothing I'd ever seen before.
Incredible. Incredible. The advancements we've made in society. Now you can go to a store and buy the shoes on your feet. Amazing.
That feels like too far. But
Let's get into some bets.
Let's please.
Yes. So too much dystopian type talk with D-Line thus far. Let's start with my big three because I want to get D-Line's read on these.
Okay.
First and foremost, because the blowout feels around the corner, I had a hard time knowing what player props to go with.
Yes.
I went with MPJ.
I love it.
Who just seems like he's playing the best basketball in his career, supremely confident, and I don't think MPJ's teammates have ever been this confident in him.
The players have said as much.
Yeah.
MPJ is playing at a different level. MPJ looks as though definitively his athleticism is back. He's no longer has returned. We don't use the B word when we're talking about Michael Porter Jr.
Thank you.
His athleticism has returned. His shot has returned. His confidence has returned. He's no longer, to this point, and in the latter parts of the season, just somebody that can be singled out on defense.
Yep.
Other teams switching to get that one-on-one defensive matchup with him.
Using his length. Yep.
But what I will say is in the first game, MPJ actually missed quite a few shots that were wide open that normally you would expect him to knock down. Like I expect his production to go up and up and up as these playoffs, particularly in this series where obviously, and in any series that there's going to be a lot of focus on Nikola Jokic, understandably. Brother, I have 47.
Right.
He's going up against
Baguette Biyombo. One of my favorite of Jokic's sons.
And he absolutely owns Rudy Gobert. Absolutely owns him. So, there's going to be, we saw it in the first game. We'll see it in the second game. We'll see it in the third game. They're going to double him. They have to double him. Yeah. If they don't double him, it's barbecue chicken. Or it's oven baked brie, And so when they double Nikola Jokic, what does he do? He doesn't force the issue. He finds the open man. MPJ's going to be the recipient of a lot of those passes.
They also don't have anyone on the wing who can mess with him.
No. A confident MPJ literally can get his shot off whenever he wants. He's tall enough. He's vertical enough that you can't block his shot.
It's why I think he struggles with open shots. He would rather a guy in his face.
True.
Because it's open for him regardless.
True.
Okay, over 17.5. Love the suggestion from Nugs Cards to go with the over MPJ threes. I'll actually look at that.
I put that in every bet I do now. Every parlay contains MPJ threes and Jamal Murray threes. Those two guys, especially in this series, like I'm saying, there's going to be a multitude of wide open 3-pointers available for these guys. They just have to simply knock them down.
Beautiful. Nuggets, I'm taking a third quarter spread. It feels like that's where they come out the half. Ooh. They've got Michael Malone's talking them.
This is a spicy.
They put the hurt on them, and they're Dunsky.
They did this last game. They absolutely decimated them in the third. The third quarter, typically a little bit of a bugaboo for the old Denver Nuggets.
I know, but these are new Nuggets.
They are new Nuggets. They are new Nuggets.
They've got that switch, and that switch gets turned on in the third.
Turned?
And they done and dust them, and then that's it. Game over.
I mean, it's hard to argue based on what we saw in game one. I would be more inclined to go with the first quarter. I feel like the Nuggets this season have been a big first quarter team, especially you're talking about a raucous crowd inside of Ball Arena that has been thirsting for Nuggets successful basketball for many years. And, you know, like they want to live the glory that is the Denver Nuggets right now. We had a little bit of a slip off last night with the Avalanche. So the whole city's ready to rebound and put their faith in their cheering behind our beloved Nugs, bro.
-3 in the first.
I would take it. I like it.
Okay, good. And then I'm giving you an over in the NHL. Edmonton, they can't do anything. This game was a disaster, and the last one goes to overtime. And the Kings, stingy, but I don't trust their goalies, so this is going over 6.5. It's an easy peasy wild, wild west in round one in the NHL. So there you go, giving you an NHL bet. Wanted to get that out the way.
Hey, this is a show about making money.
It sure is.
There's a narrative, but we're trying to make some cash.
Absolutely. In fact, you came dressed in the color of money.
I always dress in the color of money. It's the only. I dress myself every morning. I pick the currency that I'm going to dress as.
Dang.
Today I went with the American dollar.
That's amazing. Love that for us. Yeah, big 3 us up with old D-liner.
All right, I've gone with no NHL bets. I've stayed right in my area of expertise, the Denver Nuggets.
Your wheelhouse, yep.
I've got 2 Jokic bets tonight that I feel fantastic about. Jokic over 12.5 rebounds. My man was on pace for a triple-double in the first quarter last game. Nikola Jokic did not play a full game. At a certain point, I'm like, this man's going to get 50 rebounds. Somehow, even against the Twin Towers, Nikola Jokic always ends up with the ball. He is a space octopus. He has magnetic suction cups that are attracted to leather on his hands. This is what happens when you're born not of this earth, but you arrive here like Khalil, Superman. You have abilities that others don't have. The ball comes to him and it just doesn't leave. So I love his rebounds in this over 12.5. Plus that's also plus money.
Does he play enough to get him?
Yes. I see that. I don't think we're getting another blowout. I think that the Wolves, the Wolves missed so many shots. The Nuggets played great defense, but the Wolves just also didn't help themselves out at all.
It's also a bit of a back against the wall. Like you just got embarrassed so hard.
Yes.
This is where you give your hardest push.
Yes.
You find like, shit, we're really not going to beat them. And the rest of the series, you're deflated and you give up.
Let's hope that that's the narrative. I feel good about the Nuggets tonight, but I love Jokic rebounds. Bruce Brown.
Hell yeah.
Has been an absolute revelation this last part of the season.
What an animal.
Bruce Brown, when the Nuggets were in their darkest hours, where no one appeared to even care about the game of basketball anymore, Bruce Brown was given the keys largely to the Denver Nuggets, and he returned that favor with energy, with effort, with tenacity, with focus, and that energy and that focus has carried over into this first round of the playoffs. He looked fantastic in the first game. He ended up scoring 14 points, but 10.5 seems like an easy over for him. He oftentimes has the ball in his hand, so he's the primary ball handler.
Yep.
He's shown a propensity to want to score in transition. Like I said, my man is coming with supreme energy, and that is rewarded, especially with you when you're on a floor with a bunch of slugs that are looking to punch each other like the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I love I love that. And the last one, the Jokic triple-double. Like I said, my man was on pace for this in the first quarter last game. The only reason he didn't get it is because the Timberwolves didn't provide the requisite amount of resistance for him to actually. Yeah, there was no competition. Even though he did come in and there was complaints about him playing too long in this game because of it wasn't a game, like I just see, I see the Timberwolves giving a better effort tonight, but I also see Jokic then ratcheting up his effort as well. That triple-double feels like easy money, baby.
Plus 109, if you are correct, we won't see this at plus money the rest of the playoffs.
No. Was it I thought it was higher than that. Isn't it plus 190 here? Or was I wrong?
Oh, do we have a
little
screenshot controversy?
Let's find out.
Plus 190 sounds incredible.
Plus 190.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
plus
plus
190. It's plus 190. The reason being is
Wow.
because Jokic hasn't gotten a triple-double for a while
Wow.
because Jokic has not played basketball for an entire game for a while.
Dang.
So they forgot about Dre. You know,
Dang.
they forgot about Jokic. They took their eye off the ball, and now is the time for us to make them pay.
That's amazing. I'm just mesmerized by your words today, D-Line. It's
Listen,
just like,
you know
wow.
what it is. You and I
he's
have a connection that's deeper than
spitting
this
truth
bet show.
today.
We have
It's,
a deeper connection that can never be quantified by
You guys have
any
no idea.
show shown live on the internet.
That's so true.
We're moderate friends.
Oh my gosh. The greatest bond for male adults. Moderate friends.
Like if I saw you when I was out and about, I'd say hi.
That's right. That's right. We may stop and have a convo with each other.
Yeah,
real quick.
that
Yeah.
feels pushing it. I've got places to be. You've got places to be.
Busy guys.
But I would
Busy
acknowledge.
guys.
I would not pretend I didn't see you. I would say that.
I know. It's so true. And that is atypical from the rest of my relationships in the world. I weirdly just assume other people who I recognize don't recognize me.
Best way to live. Best
So
way
I
to
don't
live
even
life.
bother. I'm slowly in my mid-30s realizing I recognize all those people and have a horrible memory, so
Yeah.
they probably recognize me as
Plus,
well.
you're on the internet sensation DNVR bets daily.
So true. It is so true.
That's literally the name of it. Look at it. It's on the show.
Coming at you soon.
It says DNVR bets daily.
Of course, all these amazing odds, like the odds correction we had from D-Line, plus 190 on that triple-double, all courtesy of the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NBA, where now a new user can bet $5 on a pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets. Could you imagine to go back in time, use DraftKings for the first time, and be able to put $5 on the Nuggets to win tonight and win $150 in bonus bets?
I remember the first
Wow.
bet that I won. It was with the promo. I took Jokic threes,
Woo.
and he had to make one. He made it. I was happier than I've ever been. I've never been able to replicate that feeling again in
Yes.
my entire life.
It's so crazy. It's my first parlay win. Could not believe how happy it made me. Buzzing.
When we
Literally
first
buzzing.
started betting, and
So
you knew
good.
you knew all of the terminology, I was like, "Is Andre a wizard? Is he gifted with knowledge that I myself have no access to?" As it's gone on, I find out very pedestrian level knowledge. But all the same, like the first time you get in there, you know, the
really
first
done
time
betting
you
content
know
prior.
what a parlay is, what a prop is. It's
so good.
I feel like I have been allowed into a world that it's like betting is just
What a
the
great
ultimate
world.
sports enhancer. You can't bet too much. You can't like let it control your life. I mean, there's these disclaimers exist for a reason,
Not
but
gonna
like
have fun.
I love when I have bets on a 3-pointer. This is a theme that comes up all the time on our show, the
Nice
DNVR
little
Nuggets show.
quickie on the
Nothing better than
3-pointers.
betting on 3-pointers, and then the 3-pointer in an NBA game, already the most exciting moment at any point. Like when somebody hits a 3, it's like it just feels like so deeply satisfying. But then when like there's money attached to it, it is like the most delicious treat from above.
Yeah, it's so true. Speaking of disclaimers, we've got a mouthful.
Let's go.
Download the app now and sign up with code DMVR for that amazing offer. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelpline.ma.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casinos and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
You killed that.
Thanks, buddy.
I
Thanks.
feel appropriately disclaimed.
Boom. You got disclaimed. We've got some bonus bets. The juiciest of them all, a no-sweat NBA SGP.
Ooh.
And with our guiding light, Eric Weedum here,
I love an SGP.
we're going to nugget up on an SGP. You have really been who I got to go upstairs in the art hole. You guys don't know, but we have an art hole here at DMVR. It's where D-line works.
I've named it the art hole.
It's just an office with desks and computers. Nothing crazy, but
it's the hole in which art is created and comes from.
That's right. And it's a great time for everyone but D-line because the vibes are amazing. But everyone walking in ultimately, while vibing, does have something for D-line to do.
A lot of requests.
Yeah, a lot of requests. He's like an old disc jockey from the 90s. Lots of call-in requests.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
rather than play the new REM for us, that's a continuing with the old disc jockey
delicious
analogy.
Delicious.
Like, no one but you and I get that even. Let's give the people a no sweat SGP.
Okay. You know where I always start with no sweat SGPs?
Yes.
I always start with those 3-pointers. Always start with those 3-pointers.
Okay, we're
Michael
going straight to
Porter
threes.
Jr., 3-pointers is where I always start.
Yes.
Those are the foundation.
What's his number, D-line? 2+?
I would take 2+. I would 3 does not scare me at all.
It doesn't.
No.
Dare we go that route?
Yes. We take
Let's
3+
go.
3-pointers from
Let's go.
MPJ. He's going to have it. He's going to have the opportunity, and he's going to knock them down even better than he did last game.
Boom.
The other thing that I've
It's
found...
also no sweat, so we can get a
Are
little
you
more
trying to
aggressive.
sweat here?
Come on.
Are you trying to sweat? Let's take the Nikola Jokic triple-double. Throw that in there. Why not?
Nikola Jokic, triple-double. That's stat combos?
Under stat combos, you got to go down. It's or player. It might be under
Scroll,
props as well, but I think it's stat combos. Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
I think it's at the bottom of stat combos after points, rebounds, and assists. Although those, well,
always gets me. It is player props. It is player props.
player props.
You knew your stuff. You just scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh, plus 130. I thought it was plus 1300. I was
yes.
like, D-line, we're going to be rich.
Let's hit yes on that.
Okay, we are hitting yes, in fact. Plus 240 with just those two props in.
Jamal Murray.
Threes?
Jamal Murray threes. Also delightful, also delectable. We saw his desire to hit 3-pointers at the end of that game when the result was already clearly in hand. Jamal Murray just started jacking up threes, and he started hitting them, baby.
3+?
No sweat?
No sweat, baby.
What's two get us?
2 puts us at plus 300.
What's 3 give us?
3, well, 3's going to increase that by quite a bit. 3 is going to put us at plus 400.
Love it. Plus 400.
All right. Bruce Brown, perchance? Just 1 3?
He definitely knocked him down last game.
Or points on Bruce Brown.
Let's go a KCP 3. At least 1 3 from Cantavius Caldwell, my Pope.
I kind
The only Pope I recognize.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry to the Italian
High
contingent here.
praise. They're not picking in-house anymore, so I'm out on the Pope myself. I'm with you. No other betting show those Pope bets. I'll let you know. KCP, love me some KCP. Just 1 3.
And the last thing that I like to sprinkle in there, just a sprinkle. I like to look at bets or at blocks plus steals.
Oh man, in his bag.
Blocks plus steals. What is this? Actually cost me my same game parlay last time, but KCP is generally good for minimum 1 steal every game.
Okay, blocks plus steals. That is in stats combos, right? No.
I believe no. It should be its own block or maybe steals, maybe blocks and steals. Maybe you can't combine them in the parlay world.
Maybe I can't combine them.
But
in
a steal
parlay
is
1 steal for KCP.
Yeah.
The only Pope we recognize here on this show. Plus 525.
What more do you want from me?
All I could ask for is for this beautiful SGP to be no sweat, and it already is, thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook. So yeah, that's it. Coming to you tomorrow. Might have a little surprise for you, and then RK back on Friday, full weekend preview, playoff style. So get it right. We'll be back. Appreciate you guys being patient the last 2 days. Appreciate all the love. We shall be back mañana. From producer Yaya, the man, the myth, the legend, Big Market D-Line, and myself, wishing you best of luck on your bets.